All right, speaking of electoral politics, President Trump is not afraid, he says, of the alleged midterm blue wave.
I think the economy is so good. I think the tax cuts have been incredible, far greater than even I thought they'd be. The regulation cuts have been great. I mean, I've done more in 500 days than any president has ever done in their first 500 days. Now, history is against me because history, for whatever reason, you win the election and then you lose lots of seats. I think we're going to do very well. I really do. I think the economy is doing so well. We're doing so well as a nation. I think we're going to surprise people.
All right, joining us now to talk about it, Fox News contributor, syndicated radio talk show host Leslie Marshall, and Larry O'Connor, radio host of WMAL in Washington and associate opinion editor at The Washington Times. Welcome to you both.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Okay, so the president feeling very optimistic. He knows history is against him because only once in recent decades has this actually worked for the sitting president, the first midterm after his election. I do want to talk you through some recent polls, though. These are brand new from Fox News last week. So let's start with this. Which party would do a better job? And it asks on a number of different topics. When it comes to the economy, the Republicans are +5 on that front. Will it translate for them, Leslie, come fall?
I don't think so, because what has to translate is what people are saying right now with this legislation: show me, not the corporations, the money. Now, there are some corporations that are doing some great things, but that's not the majority of them. And this trickle-down economics hasn't worked in the past, and it's going to be, what do the voters feel? It's not just that, Shannon, because it's not just about money. What we're seeing, and Democrats are very surprised that they're out there talking about health care. Health care is a big issue for both Democrats and Republicans coming into the midterm, and that's an area where they look at Republicans failing them, not only with increased costs, but with less coverage going forward. And where we're seeing in some states, in the state legislatures, that we're seeing some areas that Trump won in double digits, even 20 percentage points, we're seeing Democrats take some of those over. I don't think we're going to see a blue tsunami, but I do think we are going to see a blue wave.
All right, another poll that came out last week. How are you feeling about the U.S. economy? And this was asked across party lines. 59% say optimistic, 35% say pessimistic. That is a 24% lead for folks who thinks that this president's doing well with this. Larry.
Yeah, I think that the president is right in terms of there being some indications that this is not going to be the blue wave even that Leslie suggests. Here's the thing. In 2010, there were huge gains for the Republicans. I mean, they flipped, 60 seats, I think, or something in the House, took the majority, and made inroads into the Senate, lessened the majority the Democrats had. And then in 2014, they took over the majority of the Senate. I think this time around, Republicans are actually going to gain. The seats are in their favor. The seats that are up for grabs are in their favor. They'll gain seats in the Senate. They may lose seats in the House, but as of now, I don't think they're going to lose the majority. So he will actually overcome expectations, is what is usually done. He's overcome expectations. And it is all about the economy right now. Despite what Leslie says, it's not just about corporations. The overall economic feeling in this country is positive and will continue to be so.
Leslie, how unpleasant do you think things would be for President Trump if he loses the House?
Well, I think the way the president is, he'll tweet a different spin to the reality there, Shannon. So I don't think it will bother him. But I have to say, I have to agree with Larry a tiny bit. Don't faint yet again. I think this is twice this year. The reason being that we can't trust the polls. We saw that in 2016 with regard to the midterms. And this is a president who, quite frankly, has turned history around politically. Yeah. So I think that we could possibly, see that happen. Although, as a Democrat, obviously, I would like history to stand with the president losing seats for his party in both the House and the Senate.
A poll that may make Leslie happy, and not Larry so much, is the more generic look at our poll asked, who would you vote for Congress in your district? So we're asking voters where they are now. Democrats got 48%, Republicans got 39%. So, Larry, that's a +9 for Democrats on that so-called generic ballot.
It is, and it will be a real problem if the Democrats do get the majority in the House. In fact, in the last 6 weeks of the midterm campaign, I guarantee you the biggest talk on both sides of the aisle will be about impeachment.
The I word.
If they get the majority, this will be a bad final 2 years of this first term for this president, because it will all be about the impeachment hearings. That's all they've got. The Democrats' platform right now is get Trump, remove Trump, impeach Trump. It's the only message they've got. And their voters, if they do give them the majority in the House, they're going to expect impeachment hearings. And this country requires our government to actually get something done, not just focus on President Trump and so-called Russian collusion.
Well, they haven't been doing much, the American people think. I mean, they've got the worst rating in the country. I think they're behind dentists and terrorists.
No, I think the media is worse right now, Shannon.
I mean, Congress.
But that's not your fault.
Listen, you know, we try, we aim to please. We try to do our jobs here every day. But the truth is, the polling is really terrible for Congress. And, you know, people don't care which party's in charge. They generally hate it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all translates. Leslie and Larry, always great to have you both.
Thank you.